Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Hope you're doing well today on this Wednesday, November 8th. Yes, indeed, it is Wednesday. Just gonna cut the cards a bit. Right smack dab in the middle of the week. What are you looking forward to? What are you happy to release? How's this full moon energy shaping up for you? Are you resting? Are you rejuvenating? Are you reflecting? How's this Saturn direct going for you? Do you feel a little more free to move about the planet? More restricted, less restricted? Things opening up for you? It might be a bit hard to really see the path, the road being cleared at this time because we're still in that intense full moon energy with that lunar eclipse. So I feel like some things may still be kind of falling off and cleansing, as my message was connected to, like still wringing out some of that dirty water from that rinse cycle. But just stay focused, stay grounded in what you know and what you believe, and keep your intentions pure and your perspectives positive. Yeah. So I have a cup of tea. Interestingly enough, I did not look at the tea bag today, and I usually do as soon as I put it in. I haven't taken a sip and I haven't looked at the bag. So let's see what the message is together, and this will be our opening channel. Let's see. Be guided. Ooh, wow. Listen to the whispers of the universe. Oh my goodness, I have never had, Yogi must have did a rehaul revamp of maybe they did some soul searching too at Yogi Teas, but I've never heard that one before. Be guided. So allow yourself to go with the flow. You don't have to force anything at this time. Let the cosmic current carry you into the horizon of whatever your future it beholds at this time. And listen to the whispers of the universe along the way, those signs and signals and signatures that are speaking to you and through you as to what directions or when to take action and when to be reactive, or when to be still. As a matter of fact, the universe is speaking to us and through us all the time, through the cosmos and even in our everyday waking lives. So allow yourself to be guided freely at this time. Oh man, that was such a great surprise to me. Like, wow. Was not expecting that. Okay, so let's see what we got on the bottom of the deck. And this is someone who will be guided. The Queen of Cups. She's definitely emotionally intelligent, intuitive, intentional about cultivating a spirit of compassion and what else? Nurturing, and is more or less in an open heart position to give and receive love. That's the energy of the Queen of Cups. Wonderful way to start. Man, should I take her out or should I'm gonna leave her in? We'll just let those energies, sit on the shelf, so to speak. That's where we are right now. Okay, so let's see what else we got today. Thank you, Spirit, for a beautiful opening message. We appreciate it. Indeed. I think my tea might even be too hot to sip, but I really want one. So I want to take those. Yeah, I'll take them. Let's see. Okay. We got the 3 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. Okay. Let's see. little bit hot. It'll be perfect by the time I'm done. Okay, so we got the Three of Wands, which is someone waiting for their ships to come in. Then we got this Five of Wands, which is some competition, maybe a little bit of confusion, chaos. I see it's not lost on me that it's here in between this Ace of Wands, which is like a powerful new opportunity, experience. I didn't mean to say that, but perhaps a new experience, a new invitation, inspiration, a bright idea that comes to light, or that seems to maybe an idea that seems to have grown expansively, or that comes out of nowhere, some revelation of sorts. Well, not so much a revelation, because that would be more of the Ace of Swords, but maybe revelation by way of inspiration. So you feel some surge of passion to do something differently, or perhaps do something new altogether, more or less in a creative form. A lot of wand energy. So if I add these up, that's 3, 8, and 9. So that's the 9 of Wands. That's looking back. Yeah, there's something a little bit, and the 8 of Swords here. This is some type of blockage, or some type of resistance or spiritual imprisonment. Let's see. Somebody's very hopeful. That part is not lost. They've sent out some, they've already put some plan into action. When you get to the 3 of Wands, that's the 2 of Wands, is putting a plan into action, or making a strong decision. And they're just waiting for the results of that activity. But something here, I want to say it's like a holdup in the middle, or some distraction. It's like he's waiting for this Ace of Wands, but the 5 of Wands is running interference somehow. And then you got this 8 of Swords, where there's an inference of a blockage. There's something that is keeping this person, there's something keeping this person immobile, or at least mentally immobile, like not necessarily making a decision one way or another, or not feeling like they have all the information, perhaps even the inspiration to make a powerful decision forward. With the 8 of Swords, sometimes I sense that as like a lack of self-trust in decision making, for whatever reason. In this case, it's probably projection. When you have the 8 of Swords on the table, that it's not really, it's what she's allowing herself to be a block or a hindrance or a diversion. I'm hearing diversion. Let me get a few more cards. Let's see. The thing that I'm seeing, though, is that this Ace of Wands is stable and secure. It's just this illusion of sorts in the middle that is causing maybe a delay, or maybe it's the perception of the competition. Now that's interesting. Maybe somebody has a skewed perspective of what, and that would go along, with the 8 of Swords. They've done all the work. They have, created a plan and put it into action. And it's like there still is maybe some Yeah, I'm getting that. It's like the only thing left to do is receive at this point, but the interference is something I'm going to say energetic because it's wands, but we had the 8 of Swords, which is mental. So it's like the mentality of perhaps the worthiness to receive, or it's like the nerve of the expectation to receive such a gift. It's like somebody, and remember, I started this by saying that we may still be filtering out some debris, some psychological, that's what it is really when we're in the 8th house and we had that full moon and the eclipse, that we might still be wringing out some old, outdated mindsets or psychological energy about ourselves, especially by way of what we're worthy of, and this being some intense, energetic vibration here. Of course, we know that Scorpio really is water energy, but it's also said to be fire water, very intense. It's not like, even though it's a what do you call it? It's a fixed sign. As they say, still waters run deep. And so perhaps there's still something in the depths that could be a projection as to why this Ace of Wands, which is inevitable, is still pending from his perspective. It's like something he's still feeling like he has to compete for or work for or do, or, some way he still feels like, even though he's done all that he guided himself to do or felt guided to do, and mentally or energetically, maybe perhaps because of the timing of the reception, because he is waiting, it makes him think that, well, maybe there's something that I'm not doing right, or maybe I'm still not ready, or I'm not worthy, or my plan isn't quite, it didn't quite match up to the magnitude of this blessing that I'm waiting on, or this opportunity. It's like this almost competition and conflict within his own self, almost like talking himself out of just being in reception, being guided, being in that stillness, as the T-Back said, just listening to the whispers of the universe and allowing your steps to be ordered accordingly, knowing that you've already done, what you can, and allowing the universe to help guide your decisions one way or another. Just staying in the vibration of choosing that higher frequency, which is hard to do, especially when you're in a waiting stage. Like I said, I know I started this off and with those questions for a reason, even though I had no motivation for it, no intentional motivation. It just, that's just what flowed out. But it's like questioning your own progress at this point in time, but remembering that there's still a little bit of a tug of war energetically, because we've been resurged with so much power and energy to be activated and to want to even get active, but we're still in a full moon phase and still very much so feeling the vibrations of that lunar eclipse and in Scorpio season. So it's like, as ready as you may feel, like, all right, already, where's it at? Type of vibe. There's still some things that are being flushed out of the system so that you can have whatever this experience is. This is like an exalted experience here. It's even more than what's being bargained for. Even consider here the disparity between the 3 of Wands and the Ace. That's a powerful return for your personal action. So there needs to be a powerful presence of reception. So yeah, okay, so that makes sense. I got that. So this might, and don't get me wrong, yeah, Ace of Swords, this is truth. Don't get me wrong, there might actually be some physical interference here, but remember, physical interference and opposition and things of that sort, the adverse energy, can only really run on the current that you allow it to. So it can only connect and fuse itself with what you already feel about yourself, or perhaps things that are still lying dormant, perhaps. Like I said, that stuff that's still being flushed out, that has no true value or place anymore with who you definitely are. With this Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, this is the truth of your power here. And it's like with somebody in the Three of Wands, he might even not even truly realize and recognize the exaltation of who he's become, having done so much work and put plan into action. That's someone that's just kind of been having their hand on the plow, more or less, and may not have even recognized how much he's grown exponentially in power and force and creativity to probably work less harder and much smarter. Even less than smart is different than smarter. It's like fluidly, like automatically, celestially. It's not even about smart. It's like an intuitive source of power when we're talking about the Ace of Wands. Like I said, something that seems bigger than you and almost seems to come out of the ethers, really and truly. It doesn't even match where you are in the earthly capacity, quite honestly. So to be able to receive that magnitude of power, it needs the source itself needs to be let's like consider this like circuits, you know what I mean? Like it needs to be wired properly. Not saying that it isn't, because I'm definitely not giving the message that you still ain't doing enough. That's exactly where he is, and that's not where he needs to be. There gets to be a confidence about having done all that you can, like that song, after you've done all you can, you just stand. That's Stand by Donnie McClurkin. This is somebody that already has activated his plan. There's nothing more for you to do, even with the projected interference or delay or opposition. All you can do is stay focused on what you know and believe is already coming to you. That's already within you, because he already has wands in his possession, already powerful. This is just the spirit like magnifying your work in a material sense. Like say for someone that has been focused on creating a business, and you've been doing it one particular way, like you dotted all your I's, crossed all your T's, got all the legal securities out of the way, trademark, licensed. You've already, your business plan is in order. You've already even started producing, maybe even started selling. And then you get this bright idea, this just aha moment out of nowhere that gives you the intel of how you can do that thing on an even larger scale, like, and the passion for it at that. So it's not just like, oh, that's a good idea. It's like you're excited, like a new surge of joy behind this inspiration. Like you're not just doing it just to sell whatever you're producing. It's like, oh, I can actually add this to that, and it expands the product line or expands the service that I initially intended, or it even expands to a whole nother customer base because of this idea. It's like bigger than what you intentionalized, and you wouldn't have been able to really come to that conclusion on your own without having started the work or put the plan into place in the first place, and maybe perhaps you started selling, but it's not quite, there's a lot of competition in the market. Even, okay, now I'm hearing it differently now. There's competition in the market, which in this case is like, it's healthy competition within business. Maybe somebody else does the same thing that you do, but you get the revelation on how to put a different spin on it, and it sets you apart. Doesn't mean that you sweep the competition and monopolize the market necessarily, but favor ain't fair. It is what it is. But it puts you in a position to do it in such a way that you're in your own lane. You know what I mean? Like you're really doing your own thing. It's similar to what other people are doing, but how you project it, how you produce is just different enough that it's almost like a specialized product or a specialized service or even a specialized brand of power in a, you know, in an energetic sense. I hope that makes sense. Let's see what else we got, because we only 3 cards on the board and I'm just chit-chatting away. All right, so we got the Page of Cups and the Strength card and the Page of Pentacles. 2 kid energy. Well, two messages. Let's see, but they're going in 2 different directions. So we got some emotional expression here, and then we have a material expression here. Information. So this could be the investment on account of you having this revelation, or it could be you making a small investment into that inspiration itself, after having had it, you know, after something has come, you know, perhaps like, you know, back to the whole waiting game thing, perhaps that was the intel that was most important, that needed to be anticipated, that was the cause for the pause in the first place. It's like, yeah, you got just about everything lined up, all your ducks in a row, but you're just missing this one little piece. It could be a message, it could be it could be money, you know, somebody actually bringing you the capital or something, bringing the capital to be able to successfully make this adjustment, you know, because I mean, we could have all the energy and intel and vision that we want, but things do take money at the end of the day to materialize. So it could be that what you were waiting on is that investment piece or the money behind the magic to really bring all the pieces in alignment together. And then we have the Page of Cups here. Now the Page of Cups under the 3 of Wands, for me, is given, to me, it feels more cautionary. I can't get around it with the Page of Cups. Like the Page of Pentacles feels positive to me for the most part. The only thing I would say is to be mindful of investments that don't really hold their weight. You know, like somebody could come to the table and present themselves as an investor, or even having some interest in exchanging vitality, whether it be business or whatever. It could be intimate or platonic or professional for that matter. But somebody could come along and want to offer have something very small to offer. And in the grand scheme of things, this is only on the lower vibration though, especially with business. In the grand scheme of things, it might look like a shiny deal, you know, say someone that is perhaps waiting on financing, and then you have this offer and it's like, well, it's better than nothing. Maybe I should just take what I have because perhaps it's the first thing coming, or it's the best offer you've had yet, even though it's a page. It could be good news in some regard, but you still have to be discerning as to what you are connecting to and what you're allowing to invest in you. Because something of such a high vibrational nature as the Ace of Wands type of inspiration is more or less something that needs to be coveted, you know, needs to be protected and held sacred. You can't just take the first offer coming. You may, in a practical sense, even shortchange yourself out of something that, you know, consider the magnitude of a Page of Pentacles to an Ace. That's a great disparity there. A big undertaking, and ultimately a very small investment. So in the lower vibration, is just being mindful of people that just want to get connected and have something to offer, because it may be more than what you have to give yourself, or to, you know, to do. They may be able to do better for you than you can do for yourself in this present moment. And that's where the waiting game comes in, or at least the discernment and allowing, as we said, as the tea bag said, to let the universe listen to the whispers of the universe, because it may, you know, it may be a well-meaning investment, but it may not be do well for you in the long run, or for the longevity of whatever this undertaking may be, or even unto you. You could hook yourself up with an investor that seems upright and on the forefront, but then somehow his affiliations become your affiliations, or you align under one contract, and God forbid, you missed a clause or something, and now you're hooked in, and they almost own all your creativity in some regard, because you just wanted to get the product out there, to get moving, to get started, to finally, get the leg up. Be mindful, be careful. And the best vibration, it could be something that seems like a small investment, but actually pans out to grow exponentially, or seems small in comparison to what you have to take, compared to what you are undertaking, but it actually is just enough of the seed for you to get the thing going. And then the revenue starts coming in, to get that big idea flowing, that new intel that you want to implicate, that new product line, that new, I don't know. It could be a new passion altogether. Maybe you're leaving something behind that you were thinking was going to bring a return, that you've been working very hard on, and then all of a sudden this idea drops out of the sky, and it's like, really, am I supposed to abandon that for this? Like, start all over, for real, like, okay. And maybe that small investment in that idea, by way of perhaps just having the faith to see it through, is exactly what it took to blow it up. You know what I mean? So that's the higher vibration, whether it's coming from the external or coming in from an internal space. Perhaps your thoughts about competition in the market. Maybe you held your ideas really closely to your heart before fear of competition, or them actually being swiped, or somebody taking it and doing their own thing with it, or even having a fear of not doing it fast enough can incite the same type of dangers, where you feel like if you don't hurry up and do something, somebody else is going to come out and do it, and you'll miss your opportunity. With the Ace of Wands, this is saying that this is something that is divine to you. It's a part of destiny. It's something that only you can really carry out. It's like a special inspiration and gift and offering and passion, because it's derived from some inner source. The reason why it invokes so much commitment and excitement, and even has the potential for longevity, is because it's connected to something pure within you, like a passion that runs within you. Say, whatever your product line is, it's because it's something that you saw a need for based on your lack in experience, or your lack circumstantially growing up. And now because you missed out on this thing, or you could have used this thing or this idea, or this would have been helpful for you when you were growing up, or when you were going through a certain period of your life, you have a different connection to it, that it's a different surge of a different current of energy that surges through that experience and that productivity than anyone else can really speak to or replicate. So it also comes down again to standing on the confidence of what has been divinely given to you to create, and not being too swayed or distracted, I would say, with the Five of Wands card, with anything outside of that. Everything else more or less is illusionary. You can take it as you can receive it as information, but it doesn't have to be definite. You know what I mean? Like, there's a saying for that I'm losing. Like, it's information. It's not. I don't know. It doesn't have to be interference. I'll say that in this regard, but that's not what I'm looking for. Page of Cups, I'm still a little bit thoughtful about, because this is more of an emotional or like a spiritual expression. And really, I feel like it's grounding that emotional energy within you, that undercurrent. That's what it is. That undercurrent that starts to kind of like speak to you about your experience, when the spirit purest form within you is saying, no, you're good, just stand your ground, I'm on the way, I got you. That undercurrent with this fish in the cup, those that self-talk is what I hear, but it's not swords, it's not communication so much, but it's like that it's the psyche, it's that those psychological cues that come from emotional, perhaps triggers from, as I said, maybe perhaps the same thing that incited you to do the thing that you're doing in the first place, that lack of stability or that feeling of poverty or feeling of losing or missing out or not having enough is that current that can run to say, you better hurry up or somebody's going to take it. Like when puts you in fight or flight mode, that make you leave your post and start doing extra stuff that could cause more conflict, to cause more of a delay for what's coming in. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's more of what it is. And it could also be outside offers or messages of people projecting their energy onto you, like, you didn't do that yet, or what's taking so long over there? I'm waiting on that business, or I'm waiting on you've been in that same position for a long time. Don't you think it's time to give it up? Don't you think it's time to do something different? Maybe that's not it, my guy. Maybe, or God forbid, you start something new and it's like, you starting something all over again, but what about the last thing you had going? I think that was a more secure shot. This seems a little bit unstable. I don't know, like that current, that again, same thing, that can only really run on what's already kind of flowing through you in the first place, like evoking those insecurities that you've been releasing and putting to bed by way of your action taken, and letting your passion override, that flow in some regard. Some of it is still kind of little, still lingering, maybe a little drip drop here or there or two. But I still get the sense that because of this Ace of Wands energy and what you have access to, it feels like more of, dare I say, a test of your strength, a test of your commitment and devotion, to see, like, are you really sure? Are you really stabilized now? Are you really ready for all that you're asking for? Because like I said, this is a big ask. It's a big flow, so I dare not say, I mean, you could see it in a different way. You could see it in the lower vibration as a temptation, and you could see it in the higher vibration as a test. It just depends on how you perceive it and receive it and respond accordingly. Now, it becomes a temptation if you kind of allow yourself to succumb to that vibration and it's out of integrity with where you're aligned presently. But it becomes a test when you can face that energy, that self-talk, that psychological current that seems to be running, that seems to be moving against you in some regard. These material temptations to want to just jump out there, even though in your heart, it's like, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. It could be all of that as a test to really solidify your position and give you even more confidence, more strength, like to strengthen your position of power and execution and productivity in ways that you weren't even aware, like almost show you your power. You weren't even aware that you had built up such a resistance to people tearing down your choices, or to the possibility of waiting too long and somebody swiping your idea, or not having enough to get it off the ground. Like, you didn't even realize that those frequencies have kind of left the building, left your circuits. They've been released from your circuit, from the mechanics of you. And maybe it's important to know, because for so long we've been running on that circulation, even in a subconscious way, that until something comes along and kind of shows you yourself, you don't even know that you have elevated. There it is. Like, you literally have grown exponentially. You thought you were still operating in 3G. Little did you know, this is 5G, 6G, hell, 9G. At this point, literally bars. That's almost at the 10, where the 9 is like you've completed let's see, not, yes, it's more like you've completed something. You've gone through the tests and trials. You may have taken a couple bumps and bruises along the way as the wounded soldier card that it is, but you're at the end of a struggle. You're wrapping it up, in every way, shape, and form. The only thing left to do with the 10 is to realize that it's truly over. Like, you are not what you've experienced, and you're not the worst of what you experienced anymore, because of course all the sum of our experiences is what truly empowers us, if you perceive it that way. But maybe that's the point too, to see the total strength of yourself, of all that you've overcome, competition within yourself and otherwise, and how magnificently you've been exalted just by the matter of your diligence and focus on what has been divine and designed for you to do. Simply, that's the power. Oh, look, I didn't even see him down here. The Page of Swords, that is the intel, the observation, I would say, even from the inside out, is what I'm seeing, like almost seeing yourself from the outside in, observing your power. Like, wow, I really, I didn't let this stop me. I didn't let this temptation derail me. I didn't let that offer take me off my path, or consume me, or I didn't let the possibility of not having an offer or not being able to execute what I'm envisioning discourage me. Like, I'm doing this thing. The mindset of the man matters way more than his actions. That's the residual response of what a man truly thinks and feels of himself. So to have encountered all of these, and this is even at the ground roots, consider, like I said, that psyche, that eighth house energy, things that you've been experiencing since before you knew you were experiencing them, projections of other people, of your circumstances, your surroundings, your advantages or disadvantages, whichever, they may be, wins and losses, however you perceive them. This is all of that energy being taken into account. The only thing missing here is what? The Page of Wands, which is the action piece, which, given all this wand energy, it's like you know how to follow your passion. You probably had to mature a great deal and just not being impulsive. Okay, I get that now. To having that like impulsive, compulsive response to what fuels you, whether it be your emotions or money or your thoughts. Like, responding in a way that's not well grounded is what has been which has been mastered, it seems, at this point. And maybe you don't even realize that, but this experience is showing you, this waiting time perhaps is what's showing you how much you've grown and how ready you are to really take on the world. He's looking out into the horizon right there. We got the Four of Cups, Hangman here. I want to take one more though. The Four of Cups, the Tower, sudden changes. I'm sorry, the Four of Pentacles. Oh, what's this? I'm not going to take that. That's too many. The Four of Pentacles, the Tower, that's holding on to resources or being conservative. It could be either one, which I definitely feel right now more than, that's still a lie, isn't it? Well, I'll take it. We got I'll take them here. I was trying to stay 3 for 3, or maybe I'm supposed to go down. Maybe I am. And then we got, there's that 10 of Wands. It's over. You're done with that struggle, and perhaps the mindset that you've cultivated on account of this cycle of life is setting you up to never struggle like that again, and here's this Five of Wands card. It's like, maybe it should be here because this is a different perception of despair is what I'm seeing here. Like, you've overcome that. Whenever you even see it, those energies creeping up to you, you slice it with truth. It's like despair can't really live in an energy such as this. Once you come to the realization of how done you are with struggle, that you have the ultimate power surging within you, that you never have to struggle again. As long as you have that force, literally the force within you, not just with you, but within you, and you've already done the work more or less to master that force, to find balance in the areas that caused imbalance and interference for what your true pure strength is. You can face any sudden circumstance with conservatism and reservation, like knowing just, I feel like it's more like knowing just enough of what to conserve and what to release is what I'm feeling from the Four of Pentacles in this regard. It's like everything, particularly in business, might not always be on the up and up. You may even take some risks that don't pan out in the way that you intended. You may take some losses along the way. You may have a fantastic month, and then the next month is not quite what you expected. To me, this is really speaking more to the balance of being able to weather the unpredictability of life, again, to be listening to the whispers of the universe and being guided accordingly, right? The unpredictability of life, the sudden circumstances that are just bound to arise because we don't know how the universe is ultimately moving us around for our own good. We just have to believe that that's what it comes down to, right? So knowing exactly how to be conservative in the present, not in poverty, not impoverished, not in lack mentality, oh, I'm afraid to be poor again, so you're hoarding everything or making poor decisions because of your fear of loss or fear of being without. That mindset, literally with the Queen of Swords, is being dismissed, probably within the same cycle of energy that I'm speaking of, where you don't even realize, like, it's like she's almost saying, all right, thank you. You're done. We're done here. It's like that was part of the ego, this energy in the first place, this spirit of poverty to incite an inflection of protection. Like, oh man, we don't have enough. Let's go gather some acorns for the winter or to weather the storm, or business wasn't that great this year. Let me go and see what I can drudge up otherwise, get some other investors, and maybe they're not even the best investors, but you get in bed with them anyway because you're afraid to lose everything you had and have not, that energy is like, I'm feeling she's very dismissive in this regard, as the Queen of Swords is, but gracefully as well. It's not the King of Swords, who's just a little bit more cutthroat than she is. It's the Queen of Swords, because it's you being graceful with that come from, and knowing that you would have valid reason to consider the ideal of poverty in some regard based on your previous circumstances, and therefore make wise decisions to be proactive against that energy. Not saying that you move in fear, because that's not what the Queen of Swords gives me. It's like she's strategic in some way, like she's able to engage that from an intellectual, even unemotional perspective is what I get. Very, objective is the word. Very objective about her past circumstances, present circumstances, and even the potential for what could arise. So she puts herself in a position to make objective decisions that wouldn't be emotionally driven by this current of, oh my God, I don't want to be poor, to, okay, what security measures can we put in place? How can we save a nest egg in case X, Y, and Z, or in case we don't do so well this month? Where else can we, more or less like, what's the word? Not, why do I keep hearing subsequent? It's not subsequent. Where can we, not substitute either, but basically put yourself in a position that if you don't have enough here, you got it over here type of thing. Or there's always something in the works where if there's one this is not one egg in all eggs in one basket. This is multiple eggs, working at once. So in the event of there being a lower business year or a slow month or season, or the demand of the product or whatever it is you have to offer, if maybe you could even be creative perhaps, and the demand for your creativity has shifted drastically from what it was, and the market has changed, or the industry has changed, or whatever the sudden change may be, you'll be able to flow with that because you would have prepared for it and grounded yourself intellectually to be able to conceptualize whatever the response needs to be in the most productive sense. So literally you could never be broke again. Those days are over. 10 of Wands. You're never going to be broke again. When you have the mentality of wealth and the spiritual, the passion of the spirit to fuel your life force, that means like you're a hustler on a magnified scale. That's not so, Wheel of Fortune and Temperance here and the Sun card. Like, come on, bruh. Come on. What's this? There's the King of Swords, the one who is going to take the proactive step to say, you know what, maybe we need to cut the fat somewhere, to take observance and inventory over the finances or the process, the business model, whatever it is. That's the one who will say, this isn't going to work for us in the future, or is not working for us right now, and let's do something different. This is the energy where we consider new possibilities. And like I said, in grace, the inflection is someone that knows how it feels to go without. They're not riddled by that energy. They're not consumed by it or held back, resisting themselves, their forward moving in any way. But it's just, like I said, it's the sum of all experiences. It's all admissible. It all contributes to who you are, the strength, the totality of your strength. Because you know how it feels, you'll never return there again. Look, Devil card trying to peek out. Yeah, you'll never return there again. And then I sell the Ace of Swords. You won't return to that limitation again because you have a new perspective of a new mentality of wealth and prosperity to sustain it, hopefully eternally, with the Ace of Wands card there. Like your passion for whatever you connect to, your energy is of an eternal force now, and whatever you connect it with or infuse it into, will bring victory and success. This is a very great message. Here we go. King of freaking Wands. The most creative, confident, this is you on the outside looking in. You didn't even realize, you thinking you still the Three of Swords. You're the King of Wands. After all of this, you're the King of Wands. You haven't seen yourself properly yet. It's like the universe is trying to tell you, like, you got all the power, my guy, because we're giving it to you. All you got to do is just go with the flow. And if anything, we are being surged by way of your flow at this point, because when you kind of get rid of all of the interference and kind of rewire yourself accordingly, it makes for a great, what is the right word? Like this is like a circuit breaker is what I hear. This is a power surge, this is a circuit breaker. And it's like the things that weren't contributing to your most supreme frequency have been being broken off, or have been blocked in some regard by the spirit, or just being released within you throughout these cycles of reflection and retrograde and eclipse and so on and so forth. You didn't even know it was happening. You was just working, going with the flow as you could see, you could actually conceptualize to do so. But all the while, this great power surge was coming through and trying to show you not only how well you've done with the power that you knew you possessed, but that you have an upgraded source and force of power working within you that really it plugs into you. So therefore, you are the operative mechanic of your manifestations, if you feel me. You literally call the shots and bring things into life and through creativity by way of how you wield that Ace of Wands, that power. See, now he's down to one. He thought he needed three. He thought, well, maybe I need even more. All along, the universe was saying, no, just you is enough, just one. And that's who you are here. Finally seeing yourself for in the true nature of your power and creativity, confident, secure, courageous, willing to take risks, but calculated risk as well. Under here with the Four of Pentacles, the conservatism, not somebody flying off the seat of their pants and, like I said before, being impulsive. Oh, remember I said the only thing missing is the page of Wands, because you've already mastered that. You just didn't know that you did. And this is that evidence here. Now you're getting to see, oh, the Ten of Cups. You're seeing how much self-control. That's what also okay, it's like, you see this? Like, can I get I don't even know if you saw that, but I was shuffling. It was like, no, I don't want to go in. Which leads you to the King of Pentacles. Somebody that don't have to worry about a dime, okay? Not a dime. And then the Ten of Cups. I'm not going to take any of that, but that was funny. It was like... All right, let's see. A few more cards and then we out here. Excellent reading. Like, you've leveled up clearly in ways that is just, only thing left is for you to realize it. And this is for masculine or feminine. Like, this is about the productivity. Again, thank you, Spirit. Masculine or feminine, you've leveled up from this space and time. That Nine of Wands, like, it's over. You've stood the test of time in the battlefield, even against your own self. Literally, look at this. The battlefield, opposition, distractions, destruction, determination for demise. Like, you're still standing, not just standing, but standing victoriously and empowered beyond measurable proportions here. Your passion is so highly infused that you didn't even recognize that you were that powerful. Thank you, Spirit, for that Queen of Wands. I love it. It's like, yeah, we in here. All right, just a few more, because I dare not, you know how I go. You keep going on a message like this and you be done burnt it out. Like, what? Where does energy come from? Let me just get like maybe two more, Spirit. If it be so, maybe the King of Wands is the ending factor. I definitely did talk about that. There she is again. There's the Temperance card. A few more cards. All right, let's see what that is. Oh man, this is outstanding. This is the investments that you made, and look what it yielded, but yet another ace. This in the highest vibration is making wise investments. It, to me, is always a matter of what the surrounding energy is and what the spirit of the reading is. And coming off of what I just said, being empowered to forge your creativity fearlessly. You've invested in something by way of that force that may have been a slow return at first. It may have seemed like it was slow anyway. You may have been questionable about the return and whether you made the right investment in the first place. Probably overthinking, considering the sudden circumstances as they are, and really just weighing in on, did I make the right choice? Did I choose the right business? Did I choose the right relationship? Should I have betted on myself in the first place, or should I have gone to go get a job? Something a little more secure, These are the thoughts in the head of this man who was quite diligent and persistent in his investments, even amidst perhaps there being a great reason to doubt or great resistance to his efforts in some regard, or definitely some delay, But what has it yielded but the Ace of Pentacles? It's like, again, that scripture of the talents that I posted before, where the Spirit is like, what did you do with what I gave you? Oh, well, I just kept my head down, kept working, kept planting, kept sowing, kept cultivating the land the best I could with the resources that I had, with all the energy that I knew I possessed, no matter what the circumstances were, no matter what my support system may have been, maybe not even, no matter what health, mentally or otherwise, I was in. I stayed focused on what I believed my passion was. And now the Spirit is like, well done, good and faithful servant. Here you are. This is your reward. This is an infinite seed. Like I said, it's like there is no more poverty. Poverty mindset does not exist within this being. This is the seed that if one egg falls out the basket, it's like you had something else cooking anyway. You diversified your accounts. You expanded your product line. You offer multiple services. You are creative in many capacities, such as the King of Wands. You're not just a one, what do they call it, a one pony show or one dog show, whatever that saying is. One trick pony. There it is. You're not just a one trick pony anyway. So you don't like my music? All right, well, I'm going to write some books. You don't like my books? Okay, well, I'm over here creating content. Oh, you're not feeling the content? Well, I'm going to go make some movies. I'm going to go produce a series, a TV series. I'm going to start a cooking show or whatever. Like, we're just doing the best with investing what you've already made, perhaps into other businesses. There's that piece right there. You become so savvy that you can recognize the promise in others and add value to their startup. And then ultimately, what does that do but multiply your return when they blow up and they do well? And, like you got your real estate, like everything you have your hands in. There's no poverty here because there's nothing unstable about your investments. They're all secure. They're founded on something of an ethereal nature. They're founded in truth. We had the Ace of Swords come out. The only thing is not out here is the Ace of Cups, but so be it. That's just the overflow of love, which for all could have been the origins of it all from the first place. I would say it definitely is, that there had to be some acceptance of unconditional love, even for self, even if you didn't realize or see it, regardless of the outside influences, past cycle experiences, what maybe you had gone without. Maybe you didn't have unconditional love or have the resources or have that support system growing up, but it was being given to you from a divine space, and because you were willing to receive it is why you've been able to actually conceive it, literally give birth to this experience of life, and to be rewarded in that exchange in a great way. It's like literally giving life to something that is eternally rewarding. Ultimately, giving birth to yourself is what it comes down to, the very best of yourself, this is like a gift of the universe. And it being, like I said, with the wands, it's like spirit showing you, like, this is the power that you have. And this is spirit showing you, this is how much I value you. This is how priceless you are. This is how important you are to this realm, that not only am I going to give you what you need, but I'm going to empower you to be a gift and to help others, because that's what the Ace of Pentacles is, for sure. And is this the Empress? I knew it. Infinitely productive and fertile, never ending, at no loss for creativity, power, poise, and in the spirit of expectation to receive always, and to be taken care of by the universe or by her kingdom or whatever, even as she is nurturing as well. It's like the most reciprocal exchange energetically. I love it. This is amazing. Crossover moment, like this is that, never broke again. You're not moving into your what's been promised to you by way of prosperity. You've always, this is you expecting it. This is you moving into it. You already had the expectation. You knew, even if you couldn't see it, like you knew that there was something more beyond you. There was something more to to believe for, to even work for. You knew it. Even when your circumstances didn't give you that evidence, you believed for it, and now that's exactly where you're headed. Last card. And this is you standing your ground on that truth. What was this? Because it just kind of peeked out. Yeah, moving away from things that don't serve you, energies, those cups that weren't nurturing. You know, like I said, you may have had those experiences of things that were dissatisfying in life. You, with all the energy you invested into it, it just never quite reciprocated. It never quite gave what it was supposed to have gave. You know, people, places, and things. And perhaps that was the overflow of self-love. And this, I feel like this is a great self-love card, as a matter of fact, because it takes a lot of courage to walk away from complacency and comfort, you know, especially when you've invested a lot of time into whatever that person, place, or thing is. To get up one day after great dissatisfaction and say, you know what, there has to be more than this, you know, and I'm going to go find it. Whether it be in this city, the next town over, another country, another state, hell, another dimension, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know what you're into. But this is you being sure, and maybe not even, I wouldn't say even being sure, but being faithful enough to pursue a sensational life, something that is going to be spiritually satisfying, going to go look for your 9 of Cups, that spiritual fulfillment, wish fulfillment, dare I say, something that's going to make you happy to get up and go to sleep, you know, to get up in the morning and go to sleep at night, feeling sound and satisfied with the energy that you've invested in life or expelled in life, and what you have ultimately received. Like, the exchange is gratifying. It wasn't so with the 8 of Cups. So you made a change. You did something different. You changed your mindset. You changed your thoughts about yourself. You may have changed your environment. You changed the process of which you did stuff. You changed your routine. You changed your job. You changed the relationship. You changed yourself in whatever dissatisfactory experience you were having. Not anybody else. I shouldn't even say like change the job. It's really you being the change within that environment, or without it, is what I should really say, that made all the difference. That faithful action, that action that you didn't even see was the thing that empowered the whole mechanism. If it wasn't for you being willing to take that course of action, you would have never have gotten to the point of time of this great gift and exuberance. And now the only thing left for you to do is just stand your ground on what you already believe, you know is true. What you already have been given evidence is true of yourself, of the new life that you are leading, not being dragged back into that energy of dissatisfaction here. That could always call you back if you're willing to be tempted. You know, people, places, and things that miss your energy, that want to bring you back just to fight with you, or just to resist you in some way, or oppose you, or distract you, or even just to to benefit from the vitality that you have. You're clearly a powerhouse in some regard. So it's like you can't even take it personally in the high vibration or the lower vibration, because people are just people. But it's up to you to stand your ground on what you believe, what you know you have evidence now to be true, on protecting all that you value, particularly yourself, first and foremost. If it's not in your best interest, it's a no thank you. Keeping strong boundaries, not being overwhelmingly defensive or paranoid is what I'm trying to say. Not paranoia, and not actually keeping yourself blocked from blessings, but having that healthy balance of discernment and wisdom and strength to know, and courage, strength, courage, and wisdom. Shout out to NDIRE to know exactly what to let in and exactly what to keep out. That's what's going to maintain this current of prosperity to no end and to no avail. Simply that, just you protecting your best self-interest. I love it. This was such a good reading. Oh, no bullshit. whatsoever. I love it. Even the bullshit was like baby bullshit. And it's like, it could be you even. It don't even necessarily have to be anybody else. It could absolutely be you running your own interference and not even realizing, but those circuits that are faulty are being broken. That's for sure. You are definitely being resurged, recharged, and powered up by universal origins, to just live. Simply put, be guided. Listen to the whispers of the universe leading you on the path of prosperity every step of the way. We are our best resistance and our worst enemies, usually, not just from what we tell ourselves, but what we allow others to speak to us and through us. And all of that is being broken off. Whether you realize it or not, you are the force to be reckoned with. Period. All right, so I'm done. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Best of luck, power, prosperity, protection, passion, and peace in all that you do, all that you're endeavoring at this time, all that you're revving up to gear up to get ready to go into. Be patient, take your time, be discerning. Don't rush anything, no matter what anybody says, whether it be intimately or projectively from a national or global or universal perspective. That the timing is between you and the divine. You're not on anybody else's timeline. Nobody's expectation should ultimately run your life or govern your wisest decisions. And it's okay to take counsel, to take wise counsel for sure. But at the end of the day, you're the one that holds the power to make the ultimate decision, and it's between you and the supreme source and force that you submit to, which ultimately is you, that runs through the current of you, that is in charge here. All right. So be empowered to be so in spirit and in truth. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.